30 years after its release, Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon said to Game Informer, "I think you could think of it as it was four guys in their 20s, completely inspired by action movies of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and just mashing up all of those ideas and wouldn't it be cool moments into a fighting game. Let loose and basically allowed to do what they wanted to do. You know, four guys in their 20s making a game and nobody's telling them what to do. That's the result of what Mortal Kombat is." Together with Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat essentially created the fighting game genre we know today. But how did its creators design the iconic characters we know and love today? And what influenced Ed Boon and John Tobias to create one of the most influential games ever created? To this day, Liu Kang is still one of my favorite characters to play as, and he is probably maybe one of the most obviously influenced characters of the original game. Bruce Lee is one of the most influential martial artists of the 20th century, and is regularly credited for bridging the gap between East and West action cinema. Liu Kang's look, moves, and mannerisms are all influenced by Bruce Lee's performance in cinema of the early 1970s. Kano's a fun one. His infrared eye is actually based on Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous eye surgery in the original 1984 Terminator movie. If you haven't seen the original movie, in my opinion, it's almost as good as T2. Originally, the character is of Japanese-American descent, but that was later changed after British actor Trevor Goddard portrayed Kano with an Australian accent in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film. Sonya Blade is loosely based on martial artist star Cynthia Rothrock. I didn't know much about her until doing the research for this video. She is a black belt and former world champion from 1981 to 85, and she starred in numerous martial arts films in the 1980s, including Yes, Madam with Michelle Yeoh. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Reptile's creation were influenced by the book China's Ninja Connection by Li Sing. The look and actions of the characters were inspired by numerous ninja media of the time, such as 1985's American Ninja. The influence for Johnny Cage might be the most obvious and well-known. Good old JCVD. Jean-Claude Van Damme was at the height of his popularity with cinematic hits such as Death Warrant, Universal Soldier, and of course, Bloodsport. While Ed Boon was on Hot Ones, he said, "When we made the very first game, our intention was to make Van Damme the arcade game." John Tobias gave an interview to GamePro magazine where he talks about the inspiration for Goro. It came from the film The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and specifically the character Kali, this six-armed idol that comes to life in the film. The stop-motion effect was created by the legendary Ray Harryhausen. In 1986, John Carpenter would make what went on to be a cult classic called Big Trouble in Little China. Its influence cannot be understated and is seen throughout the entire game of Mortal Kombat. Raiden is based on the James Pax character, Lightning. In the film, Lightning is this elemental master who summons and fires electric bolts of energy. I really do love the portrayal of Shang Tsung by Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film. The original arcade character is actually based on Lo Pan, played by the legendary actor James Hong. Some other fun inspirations in the game are Johnny Cage's ballbuster attack. It literally is ripped straight from Bloodsport. Kano's fatality is lifted from the classic Indiana Jones film, Temple of Doom. And you probably recognize Sub-Zero's fatality from the original Predator film. Along with Street Fighter II, the original Mortal Kombat game changed fighting games forever. Who knows what kind of game we would have got back in 1992 had Van Damme, Bruce Lee, Big Trouble in Little China never existed. Thanks everyone for watching. This video would not have been possible had it not been for the effort and the help of my good friend Rudy Ruiz, who is the host of the Drinks and a Movie podcast. If this stuff is at all interesting to you, I highly recommend you go check out our podcast we did together. It's called Sequence Break, and we take some deep dives into what you saw in the video today. There are so many great influences that went into this game and what made it what it was. We take a deep dive via podcast. So if you're not interested, click on the little link somewhere up here on the screen, wherever you go. And thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.